What is happening, people? It is Brian Alzu with NEVERsate.com, and welcome to my first ever recorded solo overnight video, and also welcome to one of the many campsites that I'm establishing on my property, and I thought I'd bring you guys along. Now, this particular campsite is just a little bit under a mile of a hike out. So I brought my pack and some food and some camera gear and stuff like that. And the plan today is actually to start building out this camp. And the first thing that I would like to build is a friction bed right over near the fire pit over there. And then if everything goes well, I will sleep in it tonight and hopefully not freeze. It's not supposed to get too cold, like high 40s, low 50s. It's about as low as it's supposed to get today. So time will tell. If it doesn't go well, then I have a tarp as well, so at least I can stay out of the rain if something like that happens. Now please remember that this is my first time ever recording this type of situation, so it very well could end up a dumpster fire. But if you guys do actually end up enjoy this, then it's a good opportunity for me to practice my bushcraft skills, and you guys get to kind of experience what I get to experience. So please let me know in the comment section down below if this was cool, if it was relaxing, or whatever. If you hate it, tell me that too. I'm a big boy, I can handle it. But if it all goes well and I can build a friction bed, then hopefully later tonight I will be showing you guys everything that I packed out, explaining why I did it, show you some of the little tips and tricks I'm learning from other bushcrafters, and tell you exactly where I found it so you guys can go check out those resources, because there's some awesome bushcraft resources online. And then I'll be eating dinner with you guys and just kind of talking over everything going on. But again, it starts with the friction bed, which we're gonna get to now. First bushcrafty tip. So if you find yourself having a saw log and you're just trying to hold it like this, and you find that it's really jerky and you can't really move it around, you can use something called a plumber's clamp. Now, this is something I learned from Dave Canterbury's channel. Really good with bushcraft stuff, so you definitely want to check him out. But from here, all you're going to do is push this log between your legs. Now I'm going to take this leg and clamp it down while I hold my thigh here tight. From there, as you can see, I can hold this. This is nice and steady. You can finish your cut. Easy, good to go. Now, I know a lot of people are going to wonder why I'm taking the time to use a draw knife to actually strip the bark off these logs. And if this was like a survival situation or I was just gonna stay here just tonight, number one, I would have used more dead trees, and number two, I would not be taking time to strip the bark off logs. So this is gonna take me a considerable amount of time before I start building. However, bugs and a lot of other rot can happen when you keep the bark on a log if you're putting it on a structure. So that's why a lot of times when you see someone build a log cabin or something like that, they strip this off. And when it's something that I'm going to be sleeping on, on a regular basis, I certainly don't want any bark to bring any more creepy crawlies crawling on my face in the middle of the night, because trust me, this area has so many stupid bugs and ticks and everything that I'm going to do absolutely everything I can to keep them off this beautiful, beautiful moneymaker. All right, bed is built. Time for a test run. This is actually the second friction bed that I've built, and I feel pretty confident in them. Now, as you can see, it's pretty nice. The burlap sack actually holds me pretty well. I have another one of these up near my house, and you can see I'm gonna be able to use this as like a little bench next to the fire. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, it's higher than I wanted it to be. Because I used bigger logs than I probably should have. Again, this is only the second friction bed I've ever made, so live and learn, right? But next time I'll use a little smaller diameter log so that the burlap doesn't need to get stretched quite as far, and I'll have a little bit wider bed. That said, the thing is super sturdy. It's not going anywhere. But I am hoping that because of the higher actual bed height, that as the fire is going, hopefully some of that heat will kind of radiate underneath me and will keep me warm. I'm hoping. I don't know. I did add some of these lashes here just on the sides, just to make sure that the bed didn't collapse while I was asleep and I fall into the fire or anything like that. The one that I have up in my house does not have those, and they're not necessary at all. However, if you are worried at all, then throw those on and you'll be shocked at how stable a bed like this can be, as well as it looks pretty cool, right? And yeah, it only took a couple hours to put together. I'm sure if you did it all the time, it wouldn't take you long at all, but yeah, I have a bed for tonight. I'm stoked. All right, so now that the fire is pretty stable, I'm going to make another tripod to put over top so I can start boiling some water. But in order to do so, I'm going to lash these 3 sticks together right here, just a little bit smaller sticks. Now, since this is just a temporary lash, it's not going to be as important. If you want to do something that is more structure-based, or if you're building shelter or something that's more permanent, then you're going to want to lash it for real, like I did on the friction bed over there. However, if you are just going to lash something up really quick, then I would recommend that you use something called the Cold Cracker Quick Lash. And this is something that I learned from Dan over at Cold Cracker Bushcraft. Definitely go check out his channel because he's probably my favorite out of all of the bushcrafters. Anyway, in order to do this, all that you need to do is take your 3 sticks and lay them on top of each other, just kind of pyramid style. From there, you're just going to lay maybe 12 to 20 inches of paracord. Now, it's very important that you use paracord because if you use bank line, it can pop because this knot is going to get pretty tight. Anyway, you just lay it over top, cross it back over, and then right here, you just tie a standard square knot, all right? Let me not drop it. Just tie a standard square knot. Now, it is important right here that this does not need to be super, super tight, okay? And the reason why is because when you start tightening this thing down, it is going to put a lot of pressure on these sticks. So now that you have all 3 sticks is tied together with that basic square knot, you're gonna take one of them and you're just gonna start rotating. Now, you're gonna hear a lot of cracking and popping because this knot is gonna get extremely, extremely tight. However, that's why you're using the 550 cord because the bank line would snap, but you go like that, and there you go. Now you have a tripod. Again, it is not for any structures or anything like that, but you are 100% set up for something that you can cook with or put over top of fire. There you go. I'm new at this, guys. I'm trying. I swear, I'm trying. It's been a rough day. All right, guys, here we go. Sitting on the raised bed, having some chamomile tea. I'm rehydrated, feel pretty good. And I want to talk to you guys about the gear that I brought. Now, I have to say right off the bat that I've done cabin building videos and stuff like that, but it's typically for a short amount of time. And then I get to go rest and edit the video and do that kind of thing. Man, I have so much more respect for you guys who go out there and do this all the time. You shoot your like bushcraft stuff and spend like, because this is exponentially more work than I expected it to be. I thought it'd be like a relaxing evening or whatever, and it has been, don't get me wrong. This has been like an absolutely stellar day. That said, it was a lot of work. So anyway, I want to talk to you guys about what I brought, why I brought it, and all those kinds of things. The very first thing that I brought was a queen size wool blanket, which I actually have underneath of me right now. I may have mentioned earlier, but the lows only are supposed to get to like the high 40s tonight, low 50s, and I also am sleeping right next to a fire on a raised bed, so hopefully I'll be warm enough, and if not, then I also have a beanie and a Shemag. So if you guys do not know, a Shemag is nothing more than kind of a basically a scarf. And I've never been a fan of scarves in my entire life. I've never worn one, never owned one. However, once I used a Shemag, I realized that having a scarf and protecting this area of your body and keeping it warm can do a ton to keep your entire body warm. You stick something warm on your feet, something warm on your head, and something around your neck, and you'd be shocked at what that will do. So I did pack all of those things. I do have a DD Tarp with me, a 3x3 tarp, just in case it were to start raining or something like that. It's not in the forecast, but I brought it just in case I failed on this friction bed and I need to set up some sort of shelter for the night, or if it does start raining. I'm honestly pretty tired, still have to cook dinner. I don't think the tarp's going up. I think we're just gonna roll the dice on this one. Let's see what else we got here in our stuff. As far as cordage goes, I have 550 cord if I needed to run a ridgeline, or also for building just tripods. It's always good to have cordage. Also, since I was building, I have number 36 bank line. This is my go-to as far as bushcrafting and things like that go, especially when it comes to some strong lashing. It is not as strong as 550 cord, but it does bite on itself much better, and it's a little bit easier to work with, so I like that a lot. I'm not going to throw that. Also on the list, I have a strop. All right, the reason why I have a strop is because I brought along a Drawknife, which is covered in crud right now. Drawknife, as well as this small splitting axe. Now, I thought maybe I'd have a bunch of extra time and need to kill some time, honestly, but I'm not. I'm running out of daylight as it is, still need to cook. But if I do feel like doing any type of tool care, I actually have a Gransford Bruk sharpening stone right here for work on either one of those, as well as a strop, just to make it razor sharp. But I do bring these with me just in case when I'm doing sort of building stuff, if I do end up doing something really dumb and hitting a rock or dulling my blade or doing whatever, and I need to kind of touch it up while I'm out in the field, then I have a stone and a strop with me. That did not happen today, so that is not going to happen. This Drawknife is actually really, really cool. This Drawknife was sent to me by one of you viewers, as well as along with this, you sent a crosscut saw, and I believe the name was No One of Consequence is who sent that to me from Amazon. But this works amazing, so does the saw. I can't thank you enough. I love it when people send me things, and I actually do use them, guys, 100%. On top of that, I have a Leatherman Tool. Leatherman Tool is something I always have with me, whether I'm doing woodwork or whatever, because it's always nice to have a litany of little tools on your belt. Ferrocerium rod, as well as an emergency whistle in case I need to get out of here. Not that anyone, literally I'm in a place where I could blow that whistle and no one's gonna hear me, so yeah, there's that. I have a little hanger for like my cup. You guys saw me boiling water in this earlier. This is my go-to boilable watering container, and it does have this nesting cup, which is now currently filled with chamomile tea. I have a bandana, which is always good to have for a litany of reasons. You should always have bandana if you're going on any type of survival camping type of thing. I do have a spork for obvious reasons. A wooden spoon that I actually carved myself back at my house. I didn't feel like there will be videos if this takes off and you guys like watching these, then there will be videos where I carve a spoon while I'm out here messing around, but I wanted to make sure that I had something to kind of mess around with my dinner with. Let me talk to you guys for a second about this Gransford Bruk small splitting axe. So this is a 19-inch splitting maul axe, essentially. You guys can see it's got a pretty low profile for a splitting maul. However, I bought this for my wife. My wife is a very small person. She's only like, I don't know, I don't even know that she's 5 feet tall. But I thought this would work for her, but it ended up being a little bit too small, so she ends up using the Gransford Bruk's large splitting axe, and my favorite thing is the Gransford Bruk's large splitting maul. They're two completely different things. But this is the small splitting axe, and the cool part about this is this is my first time trying out on a camping trip. I bought it for her for Christmas, so it hasn't been used very much. I take it up on top of the log pile with me when I'm using the chainsaw in case there's a bunch of fibers and stuff I hack through. So it's a really nice axe. It came razor sharp. It will be razor sharp by the time I'm done kind of cleaning it back up, but I've been using this just to split some stuff, and I actually really liked it. It's sharp enough to take down some small trees. You could legit actually use an axe if you want to because of its sharpness, but I will say that the bevel on it and just being a little bit more of a wedge does really well for splitting other things. We have a train coming. I will run over and maybe get some footage of that when it comes back. It might be darker. Also, we have a lighter. It's always good to have a Bic lighter with you on any type of survival thing. I mentioned the beanie, some leather gloves. Mainly take stuff in and out of the fire is what they're for today. If I was doing a lot of other heavier work, I don't like using gloves very much, but if I am handling a lot of wood that has spiders or splinters, then I will tend to throw them on. And then this is a Silky BigBoy saw. Can't say enough good things about Silky saws, folding saws. They're a great thing to have with you, and this is an excellent model if you are looking for something. Headlamp is always good. I also have a little flashlight with me, but honestly, that is for nothing more than backup. Headlamp is the way to go for me as far as that is concerned. I also have my haversack, as you guys saw earlier, with the kindling and stuff, and the tinder, and then I have a Dietz lantern, the original, the best, as well as a Lodge cast iron frying pan. Now, this is not something normally that you would bring into the field with you because it is so heavy, but I am looking for a good cookware set that is lightweight, but I'm undecided. I follow guys like I mentioned earlier. I really like Cold Cracker Bushcraft. I like Dave Canterbury. I like Corporal's Corner. So if you guys have, the train's not annoying at all. If you guys have any sort of recommendations about some cookware, then I am all ears. But guys, that is pretty much the gear that I brought out with me. If you guys have questions, please leave them in the description box down below. I'm going to try to catch some of the cooking and some of the late night stuff, but this is probably the last time that I'm going to address the camera because I am running out of battery. That's another thing I didn't plan for. So guys, the train's coming. I'll show you a shot of him in 1 second. But yeah, that's the gear I have. If you have questions, leave them down below. And hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of this camping trip. It has been a blast. I've absolutely loved this video. Hopefully you guys love this video. Leave it down in the comment section down below if you did or you didn't. But I appreciate you guys' patience and your time. All right, here's train. All right, dinner time. Oh, and guys, before I forget, I'm carrying 2 knives with me. The first is my Benchmade folder. You guys have seen that before. But this one I actually received yesterday. This is a beautiful, beautiful custom knife made by Nali Knives, N-A-L-I Knife Company. Look them up on Instagram and give them a follow. So the guys who did my spray insulation foam for my gym, you guys know my home gym, and I wanted to get the top of the roof spray foamed just to warm it up some. Anyway, the guy who came and did that makes knives, so he was a fan of the channel. He asked if I'd like a knife. I said yes, and he came up with this. He delivered it yesterday. It is absolutely gorgeous. So I decided that today, my first day out, I would celebrate it by taking it out on the first overnight. And man, I absolutely love this knife, and I cannot thank Tony from Nali Knives. Really, really good guy, really, really cool. He's a lifter, makes awesome knives, so thank you so much. If you guys do want a custom knife, definitely go check out his stuff on Instagram, and I absolutely love it. I adore this knife so far. So yeah, thank you guys. As promised, guys, absolute dumpster fire. This definitely hasn't turned out to be the video that I thought it was going to be, but it's turned out to be a great day. And maybe that, my friends, is enough. And there you go. Lots of things went wrong today, but dinner didn't. So I'm gonna enjoy this, and you guys will see me next time. As promised, people,